So we're going to go over a couple myths that I want to throw your way, Guy, and just get your thought. Joe, you mind reading the first one?
Sure. Digital marketing is only for big firms. One of the most common digital marketing myths is that digital marketing is only for big law firms. Realistically, though, digital marketing is a critical component to helping your practice grow, and you don't need a massive corporate sized budget to see results. We recommend spending 7 or 8% of your firm's revenue on digital marketing efforts.
And not necessarily for law firms, but for
Right.
all businesses. But is it only for big firms, digital marketing?
Yeah, absolutely not. It is definitely for the entrepreneur, and as well as the medium size and the large and the super big enterprises. Digital marketing is here, and it is the way to get going. I mentioned I have another book that's about to come out, and we are going to be using digital marketing. And I'm not even a company; I'm an individual basically. I've got one person that I pay to do social media and what have you, and we are going to support and drive that business through digital marketing. And it doesn't have to be you don't have to have a big budget. For a book, your advertising on Amazon is what we're going to be doing. But for any kind of a business, you have to be online. And I've even noticed, for small businesses, I've started to see on TV relatively targeted, hyper local kinds of ads. And so you can now get even on TV for probably less than 10 grand. And I don't know if that's big or small, but you can get on TV nowadays with a very targeted to your audience, on TV with a relatively high quality ad that can stand out and get the awareness going of your company, and then hopefully get them to your website, and then use other digital techniques to get them from being a visitor to your website and to finally, convert and be a customer.
I will say a quick side note to that. It has become more affordable to advertise on TV with on-demand television, because now you could, like Hulu, platform on-demand platforms. You don't have to buy big media spends. You could target your audience to make it more affordable for the plumber, the tree guy, the pest control to go on TV. This next one, having a website is enough to market your business. Even in today's landscape, some businesses think digital marketing is extra or nice to have. In truth, internet marketing tactics have become essential. Your online reputation is one of your business's most important assets, and you can bet that the majority of your future clients are performing research online. Social media, as Guy mentioned, and online credibility are today's word of mouth. You need to prioritize digital tactics in order to meet your clients where they look for answers. So, Guy, your thought on, is a website enough?
Yeah, well, no, a website is not enough, but certainly you can't. Nowadays, I don't think you can do business without having a website. You have to at least be in line with your competitors, and anybody that thinks that they don't have competitors out there is just plain wrong. There are always competitors, even if you've got the most sophisticated, super duper different, there's always some other way to do exactly what you're doing. And so you have to be able to be online, and search is the first place that people go when they have a question about something. And if you don't pop up in search, or you don't have a website to even pop up in search, then they're not going to find you. They're going to find somebody else. So you have to have a website. You have to absolutely have a website.
If I just put content out there, it'll be enough. A lot of businesses have come to realize the power of content creation, but simply pushing out content isn't enough. For one thing, you need to focus on quality over quantity. Creating content for the sake of content won't help your marketing efforts. Focus on high quality, well-researched content that provides real information and positions your business as a thought leader. Furthermore, you need to promote your content in various ways. This post describes some of the ways in which you can repurpose content for social media.
So just like you mentioned, like for the book, you're using social media. It's not going to be the same thing. You're going to meet people where they're looking for you, as like the other point said.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly, good content is always better than bad content. And I don't know, you've probably been watching some of the Chat GPT stuff that's come out.
Oh yeah.
I've done a couple of things on that, and I've been surprised at how well written they are, but also surprised at how kind of, I would call it, superficial the answers are.
Yes.
So they don't really dive into what I would call then quality content to be able to really show off your expertise. It's kind of like they go out to a handful of sites and Wikipedia, and they pull a sentence here and there and here and there, and then they put that together, but it isn't really great content to be able to support your business. And one of the things that people are looking for when they buy something from you, it's not necessarily only that you have a better price, but that you show that you have real expertise and that they can relate to you in the right way. And then because of that, then you have to have content that reflects what they're really looking for and why they're going to make a decision, and hopefully make a decision at a higher price than the competition, because you've shown that you are an expert in your field.
Right. I would say to the Chat GPT, it's grammatically exquisite and perfect, but kind of falls short on the authenticity, like the connection. So it'll be perfectly, you won't see any grammatical errors. Sentence structure is perfect. The keywords are on point, but then it doesn't go beyond to connecting. I'm talking to someone in the neighborhood who I want to meet or something. So
yeah, you still have to have a human component to it, and editing the content that they write or they deliver, I should say.
Yep. Yeah, and I think there's also the point where the human interaction as well. I think you can take what ChatGPT gives you as kind of a starting point, but the human piece of it is really where then the value of that can be enormously amplified. And to your point, if you were just going to make a whole bunch of content out of ChatGPT, I think you would not win in the marketplace.
Yeah,
Right.
and there's just so many other AI solutions out there for writing content anyways. ChatGPT is one of them. There's other ones. I mean, I use one to write descriptions for our YouTube, when I'm doing YouTube posts. So there's just multiple options out there for people.
So this next one, traditional ads will always be the best. For many years, businesses have relied on traditional advertising tactics like TV and billboards. However, these tactics are not quite the most cost-effective tactics for many. If you always worked with a small budget, you might have thought advertising was out of your budget. However, the rise of paid search and paid social media has made advertising extremely cost-efficient and granular. And back to traditional ads, our former lives, we sold yellow page sales. So I talk about traditional, now going to non-traditional. So your thought on that? Traditional ads will always be the best.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. Although I will admit, with things happening in the digital advertising space, with potentially the loss of the cookie and things like that, the value of traditional advertising will start to go back up. And it's a balance. So right now, you can do some awesome targeting and retargeting with digital. And so no question, you're going to get a really good ROI on that. But as then some of the privacy issues and then the cookie issues go away, then all of a sudden the ROI of traditional stuff will become more in vogue. For larger clients, they have to have both. It's always a mix of both of them. If you have a very targeted, specific audience, then it could be that traditional advertising could work for you, in a magazine or something like that, or a billboard. If billboards are great. If you got a restaurant that's right underneath it, that billboard right there is awesome. But in the general case today, especially for smaller entrepreneurs, digital advertising is it's so inexpensive to get started, and you can be so targeted to those people that are going to be more likely to buy that you can't lose with doing digital marketing.
Right. I mean, from a traditional standpoint, I still have like a newspaper subscription, for at least the weekend paper, just because I like holding it growing up and everything.
You like getting your fingers black. That's what it is.
I do, crosswords or different things. Now it's like Sudoku, my kids do and everything.
Yep.
So
Just
different things. So, I like looking and sometimes circling things with the different topics for sports and everything. But this last one, Joe, you want to read this one, please?
Social media is only for the younger generation. Those I'm marketing to just aren't on there. Over 75% of Gen X is on social media, and maybe many baby boomers spend almost 2 hours daily on social media. Social media is an important tactic for firms, as not having a presence online can lower credibility. Excuse me, as many users across generations turn to social media when researching brands they may want to work with.
You sound like that older generation, Joe. So
I do. I do.
so pardon. But Guy, talk to us about social media. You mentioned it with your strategy for your book. You've written books about it. But for our audience, social media isn't just for the younger generation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so this book, Post-COVID Marketing Machine, is for the senior marketer, and we have been primarily promoting it on social properties. I've got a handful of other books and then a new book coming out as well. That is, I'm building momentum using social media. And, you have to look, though, at the different types of social media and who you're going to be able to find on there. Facebook right now is probably for the 50, 45, 55, maybe a little bit higher female, more than male audience, and that wants to stay in touch with their family and friends and recipes and whatever. Whereas maybe TikTok is for the, I don't know, the Gen Y or the Gen Zs, younger. And then you have things, and I don't know if you consider Quora a social media. I do. Quora is kind of a different, beast altogether as well. And then somewhere in the middle is maybe Instagram and what have you. So and then I didn't even mention YouTube. YouTube is definitely social media, and it's an incredible platform to reach so many different players, so many different customers. And then lastly, social media gives you better search results. So if I type in what my product is all about, and I want to build a post-COVID marketing machine, and if I have a strong social media presence, then I am more likely to rank higher because of that social media presence. So it all fits together. You can't necessarily ignore one versus the other. For entrepreneurs, though, certainly you have to focus your efforts and really pick the right one that makes sense for your business and who you're targeting. But nevertheless, it's kind of like you have to do all three. You have to do digital marketing, you have to have a website, and you have to have social media. And you have to, pick and choose your battles, but nevertheless, in order to really be successful, those three things really play together for entrepreneurs.
Let's get into your